Server merges have been really confusing lately. There's multiple statements from multiple different people, both official and unofficial, talking about different time slots coming for server merges for servers that have already not been merged. We have the official word and we have the final word of what's actually happening. I'm going to break it down for you now and give you chronological order of what happened. If you look here, this is the data miner posted a day ago. More server merges coming to Diablo and more though. This is for about 100 servers, including South America, East Asia, North America 1 through 3, Europe 1 through 7, and the oceanic regions. The regions that kind of got basically left out of the server merges, they're starting to go through, and this looks like the next wave of servers that are going to be merged together as conglomerates, which means people are going to be more active parties, but also more competitive in terms of things like overworld farming, etc. So there's some yin-yang, pros and cons to having the server merge. Well, this was exciting some people that were missing out on the server merges, but then what ends up happening, if you scroll down here, is a Sinful Scribe posted on this 4 hours ago saying, "Hello everyone, we've discovered Reddit posts forecasting the next wave of merges. They're coming November 23rd, basically. While we do intend to implement additional merges, they will not be coming on November 23rd. Once we finalize which servers plan to merge next, we'll communicate to this players ahead of time via Reddit." So essentially we have the data miner is saying, hey, they're coming the 23rd. Then we have the community manager saying, no, they are not. But this is where it really starts to get interesting, okay? Because if you actually literally just log into a game, and I did this myself, I made a brand new account because I wanted to know. If you just log into the game, right now, it will actually say server merges are literally coming. And what it was saying for a while here, this has since been updated, we'll talk about, was November 9th during the scheduled maintenance. Well, that doesn't make any sense because unless we have a time machine, November 9th has already passed. This is obviously bringing some confusion, but then on top of it, if you look back here, kind of it's blurred out, but in the background, in game right now, it will say there's a 6-day, like 12-hour countdown or whatever until the server merge arrives, which coincides perfectly with November 23rd. So people were wanting to know what is actually going on since we have official posts and then we don't. But updated 13 minutes ago from Pez Radar here, he actually says, the community lead, just following up on this, as we know there's a bunch of confusion about the in-game announcements. We will reconvene with the production team, or we did reconvene with the production team, and yes, server merges are coming next week. So it just looks like there was a little bit of small text error that was saying November 9th when it's actually the 23rd, and then it got pushed out without one of the teams knowing. It just looks like some communication type of stuff that happened on the inside of things. The in-game notification has since been updated. This is correct. If you go in the game now, you see what it says, November 23rd, and server merges still follow the same rules as they had in the prior months. What are those rules? Well, here's some additional points. They're going to say all of these things are basically retained. One thing we should hyper-focus on here is the Deeds of Valor badges will be retained. There has been some reports that Deeds of Valor badges got nerfed when the server merge happened. I don't have hard facts on this, so I'll have to rely on comments. However, one thing I do know is when the server merges together, your activity performance, like exceptional, very good, etc., that determines what your next Deed of Valor badge will be nerfed if you're on the shadow side of things, because you're going to have a bigger group of which you have to be the higher percentage of. What I'm basically saying is the Deeds of Valor badge is determined by which percentile of all of the people in the server you're in terms of activity, meaning when there's more people and more activity, it is harder to get these higher ranked badges. So for that reason, we're going to be seeing a yin-yang in terms of you'll be able to get parties faster, but there's going to be some Deeds of Valor costs associated with that. You are supposed to retain all of your Deeds of Valor badges that you've already earned, however, meaning if this is not the case, please leave a comment down below when this does happen in order to let yours truly know so we can talk about this. With that being said, what does this actually mean for the future Diablo? Well, one thing's right, which is the data miner was perfectly accurate in his interpretation and exact servers about what's happening, giving him a little bit more validity into his next data mines. If this is true, that means some of the things he's looking at in terms of dates going towards the future, again, this is all speculation. It is data mined, but so was the server merges. Then we actually have some significant game mode updates coming to the game. If this is true, this is fantastic in my own personal opinion, because there's a lot of really good updates coming. However, there's still some issues related to the game that we should not forget about. Things like legendary gem compensation. There is still a significant, what I would say, devaluation in terms of what people should be getting for legendary gem compensation that has not been dealt with. Any Deeds of Valor badge issues, if those are true, probably need to be addressed. With that being said, if you are a server merge person who is going to be receiving a server merge, it will be much busier on your server. Trust it, take it from me, my server merge, and it is way busier now. You're going to have more competition in things like farming spots, but you're also going to be able to get lickety-split dungeon parties. That has been the benefit for me and the thing I've enjoyed the most. It's also going to be more competitive in things like Shadow War, etc. So you're either going to be unhappy because there's more people in your area, or you're going to be happier because there's more people to party up with. It kind of depends upon your interpretation of what is happening. With that being said, that's the latest update. Love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. If you wish to know what I'm talking about in terms of the data mined information for the things that I said sound kind of fantastic, like new class related to the Blood Knight, PvP modes, PvE modes, new zone, and more, there's that video, which I will put up right here. Feel free to click on it and see all of that information.